Welcome to the Detail Barbers Club podcast, where here we give barbers resources, inspiration, and motivation to help them maximize their earning potential. So today we're going to discuss pricing, and we're going to dive in detail. I wish I could remember which member of the club asked this question, but I'm sorry I forget your name. I'm going to get better with this as we go on. Y'all just work with me, I promise you. So, how to charge what you're worth. And we're going to start off with the first thing you will have to do. And the first thing I think you should do is some data research. And that is finding out like the general average income of your neighborhood or wherever your shop is or where you work, just to see what people make there, because I think it's important that you do know like the general financial situation of people, not that you could get in depth into, what they make and what they gross in a household, but I think knowing that will help, just knowing in general what the people in your neighborhood, like the income is. And secondly would be the average of a haircut in the neighborhood, in the shops, in the area where you work at, also would be a good determining factor to get like a general idea of what you should be charging. And on top of that would be, I say, how long have they been paying this price? The price point that they at right now, how long have they been paying it? Because if it's a price that's different from what you have in mind, you have to figure out what you can do to not only accommodate them, but make it make sense for you. The second step I think you should take after you do your data research is get a feel for the level of competition in your neighborhood, in your area. So what that entails is knowing the reputation that the shop has. Like, what kind of barbers do they have? Like, what are people in the community, in the neighborhood, saying about this particular barber or this particular barber shop? Whether you're in a grocery store or at the gym or whatever, ask them where they get their haircut at. And if they tell you such and such and you familiar with that shop, ask them what is the reputation and try to get a feel for the reputation. Next is to figure out the services, like what services does the barbers in your area or the barbershops in your area offer. And so you can compete, because you are in competition. I don't know what the problem is with people thinking competition, but if you're in an area and it's more than one establishment that do what you do, you competing for clients and customers, and there's nothing wrong with that. So try to get out of the mind of thinking like competition is wrong. Competition is only wrong when you're maliciously trying to take away from somebody. On top of that, I would say when you researching a level of competition, like figuring out how good are they at what they do. If they're good at what they do, then that means you're going to have to figure out what you can do better. The level of competition, I would say seek out the reputation, seek out the services, and seek out how good are they at what they do. The third thing would be to figure out, what do you have to offer? What is it that you do well? What different are you doing from any other shop in the neighborhood that's going to make a client say, I'm going to choose this shop over that shop, or I'm going to choose you as a barber as opposed to going to whoever in the neighborhood or down the street? Yeah, that's based on competition. So get don't get too wrapped up in thinking you're not competing, because you are competing. And secondly, in what you have to offer is figuring out ways to separate yourself from the general market in your neighborhood. What separates you from everybody else? When they think barbershops or they think barbers, what are going to make them say, I want this guy? Fourth, we're going to talk professionalism. And this goes a long way. Like, this is very intricate into how you set your prices and what will allow you to be able to go from getting a minimum to setting your prices at a premium. So professionalism, and it's a few different things that goes into being a professional. So one is customer service. Do not overlook the importance of having great customer service. When customers come in, like, how do you treat them? Are you courteous or are you acting like a jerk? People who spend money with you, they want to feel like they're getting something in return, and people will not mind spending money with you if your customer service is great. Like, you could be lacking in cutting hair, you could lack resources or information, but if you make them feel like their greatest thing to ever come in your shop, I guarantee you that will go a long way. And on top of being courteous, are you treating the client with respect when they come in, or are you acting like you're doing them a favor? That is a bad way to approach trying to be able to level up your prices. Are you timely? I know this is one of them things whereas, we all run late sometimes. We all run behind sometimes, but is it a stigma? Are you being labeled as a person who's never on time? Do you respect other people's time? You have to value people's time. Somebody who feels like you value their time, they will in return value your time. And it keeps your client in the mind of, man, bro or sis, they always on time, or at least timely. So let me try to show them that same respect and making sure I show up on time as well. And last but not least, when it comes to professionalism, I would say is educating and solving problems. And this is one of those things I tip my hat to my wife, because I watch her and she's impeccable with how she educates her clients. If you can educate your clients on what they should and shouldn't do, it will go a long way. And teaching them ways to maintain their hair and skin and scalp in between visits is major. The last thing that I think is very vital is, are you solving problems? This is the one that most barbers overlook. Like, yeah, you may be great at cutting hair and yada, 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 but what problems are you helping them solve? If they have thinning areas, do you know how to work around those thinning areas? Are you making those areas that concern them less visible? Because if you're able to do that, it gives them more confidence in themselves. And on top of that, they have more confidence in you, that they know that they chose the right person, and it keeps them coming back, and it keeps them talking, and it keep your name resonating out here in these streets. And that is clientele retention, because the more they talk and the more they rant and rave about your services, the more people are likely to seek out your services. So those are the things that I feel are ways to help you set your pricing. So let's take it back from the top. We started with data research, and that is knowing the income in your area, the average per haircut in your area, how long have they been paying those prices. 2 is the level of competition, and that is the reputation, is what people saying about them, the services they provide, how good are they at what they do. That's two. The third one was, what do you have to offer? What do you do well? Based on the competition, what separates you from them? So that is, what do you have to offer? And last but not least is professionalism, customer service, courtesy, being timely, and also educating and informing your clients about whatever it is they may have concerns about. So I hope this helped. I hope this answered the question. I hope you was able to get something from it. If you did, leave a comment below. Let's chat. If there's anything else you feel like I could have answered, or something else you would like to know, leave a comment down below, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.